Hello and welcome back to the STB Racing League Season 18 Tier 2 Championship. Tonight we head to Le Castellet for what is set to be a fantastic French Grand Prix, if the race that we saw yesterday is anything to go off of. As 2 minutes into the session, there's not many drivers out on track at the moment. We've got the first racing point coming out now, which will be X-Ron 2D. So, possibly signs of what to come in the race, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm joined by JRT Matty in the commentary box yet again here this evening. How are you feeling tonight, Matt, and how are you feeling about tonight's race?
I'm feeling quite looking forward to this race. Tough from yesterday's race, it all got spicy at the end, but let's see how this race plays out.
So we got well, it's been a week break for the Tier 2 drivers. We had the rescheduled Chinese Grand Prix for the Tier 1, but these guys haven't raced in 2 weeks. We do have some new recruits for tonight. We've got SFS Felipe in the Renault, who's making his Tier 2 debut. He did race as a reserve in China in Tier 1 and had a very solid showing, so I think he'll be one to watch out for tonight. We've also got XS Felipe, another Felipe to make our jobs a little bit harder. FXBR Pedruz, I think it's how you say it, we'll find out soon enough. He's making his debut as well tonight. PXR Solid in the Racing Point also. Andrew F2004 as well. And finally, XRO 2D, who we are on board with now, all making their Tier 2 debuts tonight. What are you expecting from those guys, Matt? Are there anyone in particular that stands out to you?
I don't really know many of these guys, so it's going to be hard to say. I mean, I know SFS Felipe. I know he's probably going to be quite quick. I know he's quick, but the rest of them, it's kind of just, you've got to find out for yourself, to be honest.
Well, we're on board with the Racing Point, so we'll go for a lap on board with, as I said, debutant XRO 2D. As he comes out of the first sector now, long sweeping right-hander into little left-hander onto the straight, opens DRS flap. And we got a long way down the straight. Opted to add a chicane they did for the Formula 1 venue in the middle of this straight. Looking at 100 metre board, keep it tight on both curbs. Power as early as you can. And he powers his way down into third sector now. He's on a 49.1 after the two first sectors. And then the long sweeping right-hander seems to go on forever. Pretty clean through there. Could have had a bit more of a curve on the inside. Going to turn 12 now. Important to stay away from that inside curve to lose traction. And again, a very long penultimate corner, and brakes now. Final corner on the traction opens DRS. What time is it going to be for 2D? It is a 28.3.
It's in the end of this lap, he did a bit of D-race to the end, so he brings out that moment at the end of the lap. I wonder if anyone's going to be doing a bit of management half the lap, just trying to save a little more off the straight at the end.
Graham's on a set of mediums coming around the final corner. And there is going to be a bit of a differing strategy, I think, for a lot of drivers. He sets a 28.5 on his mediums. But I do expect a lot of people to go for the alternate strategy, as it is very strong.
If they do want to qualify the mediums,
track.
quite early to start heading out for the mediums, isn't it?
You can go for a second run, but I think I heard from Brown that he was planning on going early on the mediums, and if the lap's good enough, then he'll stick with it. If not, he'll switch to the softs. So yeah, the softs is a very hard strategy to pull off. His teammates just coming up to the line. Second down on Brown, only a 29.5. So Andrew is now going to make his way around the final corner. What time can he do? It looks as if he's backed off his lap actually. It is a 36.0. What about Udair? What can he do? He's just coming to start his lap, so he's obviously abandoned this run.
Since started this lap as well, but it's starting quite close behind the Renault driver.
Most drivers, I think, have abandoned their lap. Felipe is on a
Yeah,
lap.
it's already abandoned the
SFS Felipe.
Yeah, abandoned this lap.
Yeah, it was odd. He didn't even start it though.
Yeah, 29.6.
He didn't come into the pits and just turned his ERS off. So a bit strange. But SFS Felipe coming into turn 12.
Right, the same trouble we did yesterday.
The lap.
Well, not many people get the laps in at the end. All the laps seem just came in at the end.
Felipe goes into the pits as well.
Found queuing up the pit lane.
And Semike's just improved his lap by 3/10. He went for a second lap.
So there's Zavada's done his lap, so he's not going to have to come in time soon.
So what's Crookham going to do through the middle sector split? Only a 49.5. So it's a little bit off of what he would have been hoping for. I'm not sure if he's made a mistake somewhere in there.
Fourth no flat for XS Felipe in the Alpha Mate for the second sector. Oh, he's gone wide. How he's gone wide for the fast right-hander, the flat right-hander. He's gone wide. In Zavada, I don't know why he's gone wide there.
Just trying to let the car roll too much. Oh yeah, intentionally. Crookham's run out of ERS, run out to the line. That's going to hurt his lap time. It's only a 28.8. So lap times are well, they're pretty slow at the moment. So yeah, I think a lot of people.
Into 27.
Well, Tavares is coming up to the line. I'm not sure if he's on a decent lap, but he's run out of ERS as well, coming up to the line. It's 27.8. It is provisional pole position.
Pixar Solo is completely cutting turn 4.
Tavares just done the same as well. And Norris has just invalidated the start of his lap. He's on a set of mediums now. I'm not sure if it's the same for you, but they're not telling me the tyres that they're actually on. The tyre that they've set their lap on.
For me, it's I think the best. For example, Van Nelson, his best lap times are the one that hold mediums, but he's on currently fitted fresh exhaust.
Well, let's see what tyres they've opted for, even in the pit lane. Oh, and PXR Solids has had a spin at turn 11, and he's smashed the advertisement board.
Even on that, so.
I think he was, but he's done 2 laps on them already.
He wasn't, because he completely cut turn 4. Completely straight behind it from like turn 3 to turn 5.
I don't think there's anyone on the lap at the moment. There's only a few on out laps. Yeah, I think next to start a lap is the Williams.
I've actually struggled to find anyone actually doing the lap so far.
Yeah, no, everybody's in the pits at the moment. Not a lot of action to commentate over.
This lap time.
Yeah, it was a 28.5 though, which is not bad on a set of mediums.
Yeah, it's probably good lap time. I mean, but that's the thing else to do is do what you guys do.
Right, I think Maudi's started the lap, so keeping on what he can do.
He's doing an organised cycle.
And he's completely cut turn 2 there. And that's his lap already done. Nobody can seem to get laughing at the moment. XFS Felipe is behind him on the track in a set of mediums. And he's completely cut turn 3.
Cruz absolutely neck and neck in his old lap times so far on mediums.
What about YX? He's started his lap now. And he's backed off already. I'm not sure what's going on at the moment, Matt. Extra 2D is slightly up on his time in the first sector. So I think we'll keep an eye on him as Tavares has retired in the pit lane. Can you make any sense of that, Matt?
I mean, if you think that's going to get in pole position, then don't see line up. I mean,
Why not come out again?
He's
He's committed to the soft side.
Me as well. Just go on to if he committed to start, I'll go again and try and improve on it.
Very strange, but Tavares is out. Tootie was, I think, 10th and a half up.
Struggling on the exit, he backed out.
Can he keep it clean for his final sector?
So I don't know why he needs to keep going.
He's going to need a mega final sector to put himself on provisional pole, but this will be an improvement for him. But he runs out of ERS coming up to the line as well.
This last sector was fine, it's very difficult. I always find this last sector very hard to nail. It's just not technical, very technical sector last sector.
So YX has opted for another lap on those softs. So yeah. He abandoned his first lap, but he's going again.
I don't think that's the way to go on this track.
No.
Because if he does,
he's definitely running 4 laps. Yeah. Looked like a pretty decent turns 1 and 2 from him there. So I think Bram might be opting for this medium strategy, Matt, as he's not opted to come out of the pits again. He is in P3, as half the grid hasn't even set a valid lap yet.
Yeah, so if everyone still keeps invalidating lap times, if one person can just get a lap in now,
it's going to help him massively, isn't it?
Yeah, it's guaranteed P10. Just to get a lap in, even if it's a 150 or something. Let's
see whether people can improve towards the end of the session. So YX is a little bit up on his time. He is on for a second row start at the moment with this lap. He kept it quite tight on the fast right-hander, didn't let it drift wide.
Different
with turn 12 as well. It's not using as much curb as they were used to seeing. He's run out of ERS even before the final corner, Matt. So he's just going to be losing time all the way down this straight.
I'm watching XS Felipe, and he was half some energy. He was saving some energy for turn 5. So
I didn't need to save any energy on my laps.
I did a little bit.
3 temps up through the final corner. This is looking like a much better time from him.
A little bit
up to the line. 28.3.
XF's Felipe having a very messy first sector here. Twice now had a sliding moment. Difficult last corner says to get right.
This will be his final run as well. He will run out of fuels just for the line, which won't hurt him too much. Only a 29.1, but it does put him P7. So who's on a lap? Norris is invalidated. What about Janino? What can Janino do on a set of mediums? I think he'll be one to look out for, definitely. He's saving ERS all the way in this first sector, which, as I said, I didn't know you needed to save that much, but
it depends how you drive size, what lines you take, and how much, how if you do a bit more less than coasting, use different lines, you might see a bit more, use it more on different places.
Drew's retired from P6 on a set of mediums. There is yeah, it will be Janino to set the next lap. As I said, there's not many people even going for laps. A lot of them, I think, are happy to sit this out and go for the alternate strategy.
If there's people like Malby or Charlotte or something, just get out there and say that time, because it can get 12 something like that. Just pin a lap in. Is the way this is going.
Yeah, definitely.
Just get out there, just set a lap. Even if someone has stops, just get out there and set a lap there.
Right, Janino's coming on the final corner. It's not looking like the strongest lap from him though, as he comes across the line. It will put him P6. 28.8. What about SFS Felipe? What can he do? Into the final 2 corners. Only caught the back end of this lap, so we don't know if it is any good from the Renault driver on his debut. He comes across the line. 28.9 on a set of mediums, puts in P7. Allison's... Yeah, he's coming into the final sector now.
Yeah. STB slightly for that under.
I believe it's only... there are a few drivers out on outlaps, but it's only Andrew and...
That's wide last corner for Alison.
Yeah, and he's going to run out of ERS as well. So he comes up to the line, and it's only a 30.5. But to be honest, that might help him, as I mean, P11's pretty much pole position. Let's be honest. What about you there, Matt? He's on a lap, and obviously he's chasing the championship. So it's important for him to get this lap in to get up there with Bram, who is ahead of him, clear at the top of the championship.
Andrew's also on lap on certain mediums. He can have a timing glitch just as well, because people are sorting out laps, so.
Usually. Oh, and you just hit the wall! And he dropped it on the
Andrew's
curb.
coming across the line on certain mediums, so we can do. That's 9.6.
That's pole position. Pole position from him, so I surely won't be too disappointed with that. Pixar Solid's invalidated his lap, and he's gone completely off at the end of the straight. As has the Williams. There's a bit of a...
On board with the STB. Through the first corner. That corner to that. Turn 2.
He's managed to just try to keep it valid. That definitely lost him time though. He lost some traction on the curve.
Yeah.
But we see him now. And again, a little bit too much speed through there, but... And run out a little bit wide. That's his first sector split. No, he didn't quite catch that. Down the straight now. The McLaren driver. He's got no slipstream.
Yes. Far against the line.
Didn't look too bad through that chicane.
That's pretty good.
So what will his middle sector split be?
Looking for 49.
It's 48.8.
That's it.
So this could be on for... I think this could be on for top 7 at this rate. Depends on his final sector about where he'll be.
He's on soft tyres, so...
Yeah. He comes to the final sector now. Stays off of that curb. He's only got a few more corners to navigate now. There's only a few more drivers on the track to set laps. The checkered flag is out for the session. So Maudi out the final corner. He's going to run out of ERS as well. It's going to hurt him, and he's not opening his DRS.
He's not opening his DRS.
And he goes P3 still.
P3. The STB Maldi.
Wow. And do you know what? If he hadn't have run out of ERS and opened his DRS,
that'd probably pole.
He could have been close to pole.
Yeah, and if
that out of nowhere.
And his first turn 1 and 2 wasn't exactly amazing either.
Charles P14.
Very cautious. So I think Maldi, if he just got the lap a bit more up together and did a bit on his ERS, they'd be on pole.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be happy with the result, but definitely a bit disappointed. I think with where he could have been.
He's gonna be it's so soft, not gonna be many laps. They'll do about 7 laps max. Especially on these wall softs.
You can go 8 laps if you're good on the tyre wear, which will help you at the end.
But even tier 1 on the fresh softs, they didn't do 7 or 8 laps, did they?
Yeah, most of them did 8 laps. But here's your grid for the Tier 2 French Grand Prix. It is FXBR Tavares who takes pole position, followed by Xrob 2D on his debut. SB Maudi up in P3 in qualifying. Crookrun will start P4 just ahead of Bram Nilsson on mediums. Very strong qualifying from him. YX in P6 and 7th down to 12th all went for the mediums. So it's Alpha Janino in P7, Felipe, SFS Felipe in P8, FXBR Pedruz in P9, XS Felipe in P10. And starting outside the top 10 will be Semi-K, Andrew, FXBR Yuda, FXBR Charles, Allison, LSR Norris, TSR Dangerman, and PXR Solid at the back of the grid, with the final three not setting any valid time in the end.
I think that's going to be quite harsh on these warnings, but surely it can't be that hard just to set a lapping.
Oh,
That's fine,
Crookham
I get from
has
ahead.
disconnected. And it's not good for his race. We got clear skies and sunshine.
Yeah, we all know what happened yesterday. And in Canada, in fact, in Tier 1. It's all nice and sunny, but before you know it, it's pouring down rain.
Yep, and it did certainly spice the end of that race up
And
yesterday.
obviously, in this game, the cars just appear out of nowhere. They don't come in from like the side.
Interesting enough, though, I don't think the rain period would have even come yesterday if it wasn't for that safety car.
Yeah, if it kind of became, I think it would probably been wet enough by the last lap or so. But apart from that, it would have probably been an all dry race if it wasn't for the safety car. Yeah, thank Danny for that.
Got a lot of Janino and STB Maudi fans in the chat, so let's hope for their sake that they can get a good race in tonight. I know Maudi was looking forward to this race in particular, and he's backed that up with a P3 on the grid as well.
I just wish you could see the cars when you're waiting on the screen. Just looking at the pit lane. Instead of looking at the pit lane, you look at the cars.
Well, we'll be able to see the cars now as they embark on their formation lap. I don't know if Crooken's managed to get back in or not.
He's coasting so far.
Right,
so it's just absolutely flying past everyone.
Oh yeah, he's off, mate. He's not waiting about. He's ready to get the French Grand Prix underway. But tyre choices, Matt, that's what we need to run through. So nobody's gone for softs as we expected. But it's a 50-50 split pretty much. So Andrew F2004, TSR Dangerman and PXR Solid all on a set of mediums. And the rest of them have all gone for a set of hards. Now, Pedro's is gone.
It's just can't do it. I mean, these
What's going on here?
How many people have to go straight?
I think he thinks we've started the race. And I think the stewards will have something to say about this, to be fair.
He's slowing down now, but luckily on this game, you don't lose tension when in the grid, so... Well, before that finishes. No, you do when as soon as the light starts picking up, then it does. But when the full formation actually ends, the temperatures don't drop. I've seen this before. I've looked at the tyre temperatures before. The tyre temperatures don't actually drop.
Oh, he's disappeared. So I think the stewards will definitely have something to say about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not going to help him at all standing on the grid any longer. But interesting enough, only 5 drivers on a set of softs to start this race. Whereas I think we had 9 for the race yesterday. It was all in the top 10 apart from Bruno Will, who managed to
lap
get 10.
times also helped as well. So, not the medium was actually a little higher than I thought that would.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The lap times weren't anywhere near where we expected.
As through Salty comes to the ghost slot.
Yeah, and Tammy's only coming through the final corner. So then they're coming up to the grid slot now. As PXR Solid will be the last man to take his grid slot. Oh no, it won't. It'll be the ghosted car of Crookham, which he has not managed to get back in, obviously, which is a shame for him. But they're all lined up now, Matt. Who is your guess for victory tonight?
I'm going to say around on those mediums. So.
Well, we've got lights on our screen, but they are not the lights on the driver's screen, as usual. So we'll wait for the drivers to start revving up their engines, which they do now. And it's lights out and away we go. And it's an awful start from FXBR Tavares. He's getting swallowed by the pack now. As we've got STB Maudi into turn 1. Is he going to take the lead here? And Exo Road 2D around the outside. They're going to be very close into turn 1. Tavares all the way down into P4 already. Janino, and there's a bit of contact, and there's a
Maudi's
Williams
taking the
round.
lead.
And Maudi is in the lead of the race. I'm not sure what's happened to Tudi out of turn 2. And there's big contact at the back, and that's Badrou's round. And there's a Ferrari round as well. There's carnage at the start of this race.
I've seen that, I saw that.
And Red Bull Charles as well at the back. He's lost out massively as well. And we got another spinner.
Tavares
is round.
The pole position runner is now out. Well, out of his position.
And
now
this is the first time we've ever seen STB Mali lead a Grand Prix. And I'm
thing is that it's just that the graphics ruining it.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what's going to happen with Crookrun's. It should fix itself, I think, by the time we come over the start-finish line. But it's a lively start, to say the least. The 2 Red Bulls missing out completely.
Maudi's wide.
Oh, it's going to be 2D on the back of him now. Janino has had a fantastic start. Brown Nelson's gone backwards as well, Matt. He's down into P8.
Yeah, good start. Ultimately got caught on the some of those collisions. He's just been out back a little bit.
I think they've just made contact, the 2 at the front. 2D is all over the back of Maudi. We see Crookrun in the pits.
While it's got the freshness in the tyres.
And STB Maudi with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's a very rare start.
So, what happened to Bram off the start then? Let's see his progress at the moment. Has he got any damage? No, there's not any damage.
I think he might be caught with the Ferrari, I'm not sure.
And it's saying DRS is enabled, but we're only on lap 2 at the moment. And I think we might have a timing glitch for the whole race here, Matt.
Yeah, Crookrun seems to be missing it out right now.
So we're just going to have to get used to that, I think. But
as long as the rest of the grid is fine, it should be fine.
2D is looking very quick at the moment on the back of the McLaren. And as expected, they are pulling away from the guys on the harder compound of tyres. Semike had a fantastic start, and he's on a set hard up in P5.
Yeah, that's going to be very useful for him.
Yeah, he will struggle to keep on the back of Janino though, who's on those fresh mediums. So further down the back, Bram's looking to make a move on Felipe. These guys getting very close together. No flag for Crookrun. He's out. He's out of this race. So it should fix itself with that glitch now. You see the gap coming down.
Yeah, I think it's his game, I think it's his lap ahead.
We've got a battle at the back with 3 cars. Pixar Solid, it's Yuda as well involved as Allison. Pixar Solid's going to go out the inside, he's not. He's going to think better of it into turn 1. They're all getting very, very close together though. So what about up the front? Can 2D make the move with the DRS now enabled?
And just to make it like more difficult, a few Philippines are right next to each other.
Brilliant. Well, they're getting really close as well. 2D's got back a bit here.
SFS Philippines already ran out.
Yeah, Bram's on the back of SFS Felipe. He's going for a move down the inside at the end of the straight. And Felipe's going to hold it around the outside. And Bram gets a penalty on lap 3. That's early for him, that's not good. But he's going to go for a move yet again.
Yeah, Felipe's just got no DRS.
Yeah, down the inside, Bram goes. And he's got the move done easy as you like.
That's why you just don't let your
be excess Felipe.
You just don't allow that, because you're doing after that. As soon as you run out of ERS, you just assist you're not going to be choice.
So Maudi is holding the lead at the moment. I think Janino is going to start to come back at them soon enough on his mediums. If he can try and keep the pace up, then he's got a chance if he can make those softs go far enough.
The softs are probably going to be dying already.
He's still got a battle down the back with Udair now going for a move. Pixar Solid. And the inside he goes, gets the move done before the braking zone. Bit of a squeeze on the racing point, and Dangerman nearly runs into the back of the racing point as well. And that's going to bring Andrew into this fight. Andrew thinks better of going for a move into turn 3. As all these guys go into turn 5 and 6 now. Big train. Yeah, and he's closer this time. And I think he's going to go for a move. Yeah, 2D's using his ERS. He wants his position on Maudi. Maudi doesn't go defensive in the braking zone. So up the inside goes 2D. Gets the position done. Maudi's going to go for the switchback though. And he is going to get much better traction than the Racing Point. Is he going to go for a move here? He is using his ERS. Side by side, now coming into the fast right-hander. Going to be side by side through turn 10. And Maudi holds the position. Yeah, and here comes Janino up the inside. Oh, Judy's going to give him a squeeze, but he slides up the inside, and it's a good move from the Alfa Romeo. But they're still side by side through turn 11. And Janino all the way around the outside. 2D loses traction, and Janino gets the move done. And it was a good move in the end from the Alfa Romeo. Had to brave it out. Oh, and he's hit the back of Maudi as well. In the final corner.
Contact there.
Trains absolutely everywhere down the field.
Yeah, behind Semi. Bram's got those behind Semi.
Yeah, Bram's all of a sudden made his way up to P4. So he got the move done on XS Felipe. He's now back up into P4. This is where he needs to be to chase after Janino. And Norris as well. Norris and Felipe. Oh my goodness. That was nearly a crash between the two of them. And SFS Felipe is going to get involved in this as well. And there's still contact between those two. And Norris getting feisty. He's going to have to let him go. Will Janino make a move on Maudi? On this lap he will. He's going for it up the inside. Maudi doesn't fight it yet again. And I think Janino will run off into the distance now. Gives Maudi a squeeze. And he's up into P1 for this race as we've got battles down the back of the field as well. And there's contact. And Norris has got he's got no front wing. Oh, and he's driven into the wall. He intentionally just drove into a wall.
This is a saviour for those from Maudi and Fuji, I think.
Oh yeah. Will the mediums use this as an opportunity though? Yeah. Will they pit and try and make it to the end? Surely they've got to.
Yeah, they could.
But as for that incident, I'm not sure what happened, but Norris intentionally driving into a wall. Definitely not the best from him. So let's watch. Yeah, obviously the guys on the softs are all going to pit. Brams uses this opportunity as well. What about Felipe? Felipe stays out. Well, XS Felipe stays out. SFS Felipe comes in.
The hard runners are definitely staying out.
Yeah, they have no option. And I think it's going to be a bit of a world of pain for them. Although it could work for them. They'd have to get a bit lucky in this race. But for the softs, it was a no-brainer. Oh.
Did you get to head out in the pit lane?
Not sure what's happened there then.
He got held up. The power pit pit boxes earlier, so I think.
Yeah, he must have got held by someone.
After the Racing Point garage being a lot further down. I think the McLaren's like the 4th garage down, and the Racing Point's like the 7th or 8th or something.
I do think pitting for hards is definitely the way to go from this safety car, but saying that, his hards are going to be so difficult to get to the end of this race.
Yeah.
If you pit on
Tier 1, can do from lap 7, lap 8.
Well, yeah, last season I did from lap 7 to the end, and I think they were on about 80% towards the end. So I think it's possible, but it will take a bit of management, definitely.
The way the grid is forming up again, looks like it might be in the lap 7.
Yeah, I think it will be. This is it's mixed it up completely. I think the only way it's going to work for those guys at the front is if the guys in the midfield are going to hold all of these guys on the fresh hards up, and then they switch to a set of softs at the end. But then the guys on the mediums, they're not going to be able to do that. But it is 2D with the provisional lead on his debut. So I think the question is for Juninho, can he build this gap whilst he's on the softer, fresher rubber, and then try and close that gap up on the fresh hards at the end as well. So as for Udair in the championship battle, he is in P4, but still to make a pit stop. But he will be on mediums at the end, which will definitely benefit him. It'll be whether he can close that gap up. Same with the rest of the guys on those tyres that decided not to pit. But Charles is going to have an almighty task to keep all of those guys behind. There's still no signs of any rain in this race, and it is safe to go out in this lap as we expected.
Yep.
So Juninho will control the pace of the pack now. He's doing a bit of a tyre warming.
Fast.
Yeah, we'll probably back them up into the final sector now. But it's a big gap from a semi-K. So when that safety car is in, he can bolt it, but it looks like semi-K has closed up now. Trying to do a bit of tyre warming. So will Juninho leave it late, or will he try and catch the rest of the pack napping even? So through the final corner now, and he does look as if he's gone. He's gone very, very early. So off we go on the restart. It looks as if he's caught semi-K napping as well. Obviously on the mediums, he's going to have a grip benefit. So we need to watch that battle at the back as well. What is the provisional lead?
That's wide back, yeah.
Bit of a lock up from PXR Solid there on the inside. Brown getting close on the back of Maudi now. So is anyone going to go for a move down this straight? Andrew's close on the back of Allison. And you there on the back of Felipe as well, getting very close into the braking zone. There, closing up on XS Felipe. Can't get the move done. I think he's going to need a bit of assistance from DRS as Charles has made a move on Andrew. And 2D's now basically pushing him through turn 12.
Margaret's having back as well. Obviously, Maudi and 2D are definitely fighting for that position.
Yep, Brown on the back of Maudi as well. Oh, and up the inside goes SFS Felipe into the final corner. Bram has to give him space, but he doesn't get the move done. Maudi's now looking for the move on 2D. This is for provisional lead, Matt. Can he get it into turn 1? 2D's just got the straight line speed to stay ahead.
Right.
And these guys now coming up to Andrew and Charles, who have dropped off of the pack a little bit. Oh, I've just had some insight, Matt.
Oh.
Apparently there is rain on the way at the end of this race.
Information. Yeah, we did have questions about that way. How long everyone took to get out of the garage?
Yeah.
It's part of qualifying.
And as I say that, it did just slightly go overcast. We're not expecting it to go until the end of the race. But a bit of foreshadowing there. And Bram's going to go for a move on Maudi here. And he might get a double overtake here. Can he get it up the inside of Tudi? He doesn't. And there.
Oh, not quite
But
yet.
Felipe's holding it. And up the inside he goes, keeps the position. And Bram did get the move done on Tudi, but they're still side by side. And Tudi holds it. Can Bram get the switch back? Out of turn 12, through turn 13 now. He's a little bit too far back. But he's going to be hustling the back of that racing point. The DRS is now enabled, so they're going to have a helping hand for the overtaking. Drew's getting the move done on Wax as well, down the back. As Tavares picks up a penalty at the back. So can Brown get close enough to Tudi down the straight? He's pretty much pushing him through this first sector, so I think he's going to be close enough. As he's now got the benefit of slipstream. But Tudi's also got DRS on the car ahead. It's Brown now. It's going to use some of his overtakes to try and get the move done. But Tudi's got great straight line speed. Up the inside goes the Haas. Side by side at the chicane. And Tudi holds it around the outside. Brown's going to have to burn his ERS yet again to get past Tudi. And this time it's looking a bit more convincing from the Haas driver. And there he goes. Up the inside, up into P9.
Maldi's all over him as well.
Yeah, he's looking again.
Inside.
And now up the inside, it's not a place you see overtake him, but he's managed to get the move up the inside. Tudi gives him the space. Can he hold it all the way up the inside? Around the final corners now, and he does get the position, but Tudi's going to hold it up the inside. Still side by side through the final corner. Bit of wheel banging between the two, and Maldi gets the position done. This is going to give Felipe the chance as well, and possibly going to be under pressure from Tavares as well, Tudi. As Felipe comes through. And that's 3 positions in the space of 1 sector.
Yeah, Tudi's just getting a bit like the opposition on track. What's the weird sort of lock up moment there?
Wide from Tavares as well. Squeezes Pedroux off the road. Who's now going to be all over the back of the Rebel driver. And I think it's going to make the move here. Down the straight, but Tavares is fighting it. He's got DRS and slipstream from Tudi. Now gaining all the way down the straight. But it is Pedroux up the inside. They're going to be side by side still though. Tavares all the way on the outside. There's contact. And they've managed to avoid that one.
Bram's getting Andrew down the straight. A bit of
Yeah, Charles as well on Allison. Looking for a move up the inside of turn 11, and he does throw it up the inside. Allison's gone very, very wide, and he's off the track. And that's going to be the move for Charles. On his contact! Oh no, and Bram's hit him. And that's Andrew's been caught up in that as well. He's had to avoid that, and he's lost a couple of positions. I don't know if Bram got any damage from that. Did Bram get damage? And into the pits comes Janino.
Yeah. All I know is that I got flashbacks from yesterday after that.
I think Bram managed to avoid damage. That's incredibly lucky from him. It was a pretty hefty whack.
I missed the contact.
Tudi has made the move on Pedroux. Up into turn 1, they're still side by side. And here comes Tavares back on Tudi. Oh, there's wheel banging between the two of them. Tudi is just falling backwards in this race. He's now going to be under pressure from YX as well. What is going on with the racing point?
Just been there at one place for a long time. Just being picked up on one by one.
And that's Allison going for a move on YX as well. At the inside, at the end of the straight. Oh, so close to contact again. Allison picks up a penalty for his troubles as well. And Solid's made a move on Felipe around the outside. Good move from him.
That's Felipe. All you know on fuel, and he's got no rest.
Yeah, I was just struggling for management a little bit. And he is in DRS of Maudi. He's in a bit of a train, so you'd assume that he wouldn't be struggling as much. Into the pits for Felipe.
On the edge. Gosh.
So Pixar Solid, the only medium runner left to go, and Andrew as well. Oh! Matt? Janino's on a set of mediums. And I think that's his race ruined.
Ow. Ow. No, rain period. You must think it's going to rain.
He's got to be pretty confident for that, because he's got to pit again.
It's just changing to the rain in the next 10 minutes. I presume that's why he's gone on stage to read these.
Oh, and Felipe's going to go for a move from Mauri, but he's got no ERS, so Mauri can just burn some of his ERS and stay ahead. And he does so pretty efficiently, as Petrus gets the move done on Andrew. Yep, Mauri has just lost DRS on Bram, which is not good for him. He's going to be under pressure now as we see Bram closing in on Charles.
Mauri's off DRS on Bram now, so it's going to make life a little bit harder for him.
Yeah, but will... Oh, Bram's nearly lost it! Oh my goodness! I did the identical same thing yesterday. I think twice I nearly lost it through there.
Yes, I split there last season. Quite easy to do actually in that corner.
And Felipe's got the move on Mauri through the final sector there. Barges his way through.
Yeah, I was spectating Bram. I felt so hurt contact.
And Bram's really looking for the move in Charles now. He's not got much ERS to play with though. And oh, he's hit the back of Charles! Oh, and Charles is in the wall.
Look at the pace coming in now.
And Mauri's in AI mode.
What's that? Bram too late.
I think Bram has to be to blame for that one.
Yeah, normally it's just the
Tavares. Oh, as we see, I'm not sure what's gone on with Mauri, but he was in AI mode for a very long time there. And look at all the time he's lost.
Yeah, he's lost like a couple seconds.
Yeah. And he's now under pressure from Tavares. And what a shame from Mauri as well, because he's got no penalties and he was in a really good position. Not always lost, but definitely lost a load of time there. And yeah, I think all of a sudden...
Very dark now.
Yeah, if these hardliners can make it to the rain, it's going to be Semi-K versus Udair for the lead.
Yeah. I mean, these hards could do 20 laps, so these hardliners...
Well, it depends when the rain is going to come, yeah.
Yeah.
If we're expecting it lap 20, then they will make it... Well, it's got very dark, so you would assume it's going to rain quite soon. Alright, let's keep an eye on Udair on Semi-K, because he looks to be wanting to get a move on.
Mauri fluffing up that first game.
Is he bottling it? Is he bottling it, Matt? After all this time?
And then the rain's going to come down and it's just going to ruin everything.
Yep, Tavares is going for a move, I think, on Semi-K here. No, he turns his ERS off. So obviously not going for it as of yet. And to me, it looks like it's going to rain any second. Yeah, and that is his most effective form of defence on Tavares. As long as he can stay close to his teammate, he'll be alright. Allison and 2D side by side down the end of the straight. Allison goes around the outside. What a brave move from the Brazilian. He's now under pressure from the Racing Point driver. Oh, a bit of a double move there. Yeah, and should be an easy defence there from Allison. But 2D's still going to go for this, around the outside. And he's going all the way around the outside, and he can't hold it around there. There's no grip. But, yeah, 2D getting a bit feisty with Allison as well. Good battling from these two, though. And Tavares is looking a lot quicker than Mauri at the moment, but he's not been able to find a way through.
He's alive.
Yeah, and he's closing in on his teammate as well. Now, Brown is closing on the leaders. Obviously, with his fresh tyres, he has got benefit.
Well, a bit of a strain going behind us here with 2D and YX. And
Nudez made a move. Just about missed out. He's up the inside.
As well.
Yeah, he is. But I think it might be too late. Yeah, Padruz holds it. Yeah, the rain is here. So these guys that started on hards have got a massive advantage. And now here comes Tavares on Maudi. And he gets the move done. Maudi's lost the position to the Red Bull.
Yeah, Maudi's got no rest left. That light's flashing behind his car because he's not being very good on his ERS.
He needs to start saving some.
He's using too much down the start finish straight. Why are you using it there? You just don't need to. You don't make any mistake there. Unless you know
he used a lot and he got very close, but if you're not going to make a move, there's not really much point using much. So the rain is starting to come down. It's looking a lot lighter than what we saw yesterday. It came down very quickly in the race in Tier 1. And Gino is slowly making his way up through this pack, but he's still going to struggle in this race. He's got another 5 or 6 seconds to gain to get towards Maudi, Tavares and Padruz. He's made a move. And Andrew span. Not sure if there was contact between him and Janino there, but they were very close.
Doesn't seem to be starting really. He seems to be firing, I think. He's going out of second gear. He's got damage, I think.
Yeah.
He's doing damage, that's what he's doing. He should have out of second gear.
I'm not sure what's going on with him then. It looks like he's out of this race.
He's got puncture! He's got puncture!
Oh.
He must have.
Puncture? Well, he has been on them for 16 laps,
16
yeah.
laps, yeah.
And Maudi's just got past Padruz. Sorry, I was too busy focusing on Andrew. Maudi's got past Padruz, which is crucial for his race, Matt, as these guys are teammates.
Which means Tavares has got past him. Tavares has got past him.
And Brown's going to get held up in this rain period as well. And Felipe. There's...
Yeah, because it's in
the top 8, there's only 4 constructors.
So Brown's
all of those guys are going to
make this. You've got to play this tactically here. You're going to have to make sure you get the pit time right. You hope that you dare semi mess it up.
So, when is it going to be wet enough? It looks like Felipe's going for a move on Brown here. Got no ERS. And Felipe's looking quick, but he's using all of his ERS to even just get close to Brown. Brown's used all of his as well.
Yeah, so they're both in the same situation, but Felipe's got fuel to save. It's on the edge.
Yeah, it keeps coming on and off, so we've got a yellow flag, that's for Andrew.
He's lost a lot of time. He's lost like a minute.
And he's out of this race. And Udai's pulling away from Semi-K now.
Brown's pissing. Oh! Semi going to make hits! Oh my, that was what I just witnessed, but that was cheeky. I think.
I didn't catch what happened there.
Penalty.
Oh no! And Maudi's bottled it.
Straight. Brown's going to the pits, Semi wasn't, and Semi ended a very, very late dive into the pits, like very light, but very late. And Brown had to then come back onto the pit lane, come back out of the pit lane, back onto the racetrack, even though he was way off track.
So they're all gone for inters, and
Yeah, but
I
Maldi,
still think it's too
he
dry.
I don't think so. I think it was just Friday now. This might just be.
Well, DRS is still enabled,
I don't know.
which is usually a good sign.
The track doesn't
Well,
quite
let's have a
that.
look. This is either going to be
Just
a
detail
really,
from Maldi,
really,
but-
a really good call from Semi-K. But pretty much the whole field has gone for inters.
Oh, Maldi's getting like 2 tenths over. It's definitely something that's going to get Delta to chopping down the road. It's definitely something that's now.
Let's have a look at the gap between Semi-K and Solid. Yeah, DRS disabled now. And that is not good news for the top five.
I can't really watch.
I think by the last sector, these guys are going to be crawling around. Lucky for Udair, he's only got a few more corners before he reached the pit lane.
I just can't get my head around what happened to Ram and Semi in the pit lane there. That was just
Semi-K obviously made a
madness.
very, very late call.
Yeah. So Ram was like, "I'm going in," and suddenly he sees Haas.
Well, yeah, he was going
sideways
to do the
into
hot opposite of what his teammate did.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are all in the pit lane now, unsurprisingly. For a set of intermediates. Now we're going to go on board with Semi-K to see. Look how much time he's gained on Solid. Yeah, I think he's going to be in a brilliant position by the end of this race. But we'll watch him to see where he comes out in comparison to the guys who've just
If
pit.
I was Ram, I would have still pitted anyway. To be honest, even if he get close behind his teammate.
I think you'd lose more time in the pits than you would staying out.
But
you can see there,
3 seconds.
and he has got the jump on Udair, but he hasn't lost a huge amount of time. But Udair's been jumped by his teammate as well. Bram's come out of no man's land. He's got some work to do in this race. But Semi-K on for a very strong result here. Semi-K, who got his first podium last time out in STB in Canada. Can we see his first victory tonight? He's got some work to do. Udair is still only 2 seconds behind.
Malby, even with that drive, even with that penalty, it's been a bit. I think he's still got a chance to get a good point to.
He has,
keep the
but
pace up.
it's definitely it hasn't ruined his race, but it's definitely it's put a bit of a dent on it. Because at the moment, with that's the only penalty he's got. Tavares has also got a penalty. If he can stay with Tavares, then he's on for a P5. But I don't think he will get that anymore. I think he's going to drop to P7 minimum.
Yeah, Charles maybe.
Which I think with
got
how the
another
race has
penalty.
gone, he'll be disappointed with.
I think that might be Tavares' third penalty, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how many he's got.
Oh, Malby. Not recommended line through that left hander.
Right, can Udair make his way past his teammate as quickly as possible and get on to the back of the Haas driver? It's important for his championship, as we mentioned, as he is 29 points behind Bram. This is where he needs to make the most of that, because Bram's going to be P4, I think, at best in this race, unless Udair gets a penalty. So if Udair wins, Bram gets 4th.
Tavares all over the back of
getting
Malby now.
13 points on him.
Not hit the back of Malby.
Yeah, he's looking much quicker than Maldy in the wet at the moment. And I think it'll be an easy overtake for the Red Bull. In the slipstream, he pulls out. Up the inside he goes. Not committed completely though on the brakes. Maldy gives him the space. Bit of contact between them. And still a bit of contact between them.
I think Tavares tried to turn in, but Malby was still there.
And this has put the guys behind him on their tail. And Maldy's going back for the overtake on Tavares. He's turn 9 now. And Janino is now joining this battle. And Maldy's struggling through there. And Janino getting closer and closer.
But it isn't exactly Malby's traces it. Maldi kind of repels water. He repels away from water, like. Probably not very good at it. He probably sits inside his house all day. He never sees it work.
It's allergic to rain, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Here comes Janino. Maldi goes defensive, holds the inside line. And through turn one, it's not really one you're going to go side by side through the respect. And gets the position into P6. As Maldi starts to go backwards now.
Maldi never got penalties. He's still going for like a P5 or something.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
The penalties.
And it was a silly penalty as well. And he's got another one.
Never mind.
And he's completely bottled his race.
Might be in that for top 10 now.
I think he's going to struggle, yeah. It depends on the guys behind, what penalties they've got. It was looking promising for the McLaren, and he's not quite delivered. Right, you there on the back of Felipe on his debut as well, who is in P2 provisionally. So it's been a strong showing from him. And Udair not making any progress towards the lead at the moment.
He can't when he's still a pit ahead of him.
Well, he needs to get past him, doesn't he? Stick a bit of overtake on. Get it done. But yeah, the gap between the lead, he's been about 2 seconds off of Semi-K consistently the last 4 laps or so. As Felipe goes wide into turn 1.
Felipe also had a lot less ERS. Felipe's already running out. So
yeah, so this could be Udair's chance. It's the closest he's been. So Felipe only on 15%. I think he's going to be in a bit of trouble down the end of this straight. If Udair can keep close enough, which he has, 4 tenths behind, I think this could be the move for Udair. In the slipstream, ERS is enabled. Gaining all the way down the straight. Felipe doesn't go defensive, and Udair finally passed his teammate. That was definitely a warning he got on the inside there, though.
Yeah, it was quite chunky. Got that one. But 2 seconds to flip there. That's correct.
Brown is now in this battle. You see him lurking in the distance. He's been gaining slowly over the laps.
Charles up the back of Maldi now. Maldi's struggling. Lost 2.4 seconds, 2.5 seconds to the Tavares and Juninho.
Yeah. Charlotte's going to get the move done.
Inside of Charles. That's a gone cut.
Yeah, Maldi managed to hold it.
Scary. That corner's scary in the way by itself at the moment. No one going side by side.
Yeah, and Maldi holds it for now, but I think it's a matter of time as we've got danger man. Span in turn 1. Turn 1? Sector 1. Turn 4. This is where we're going to keep an eye on the gaps up front, see what Udair can do now. But Semi-K's showed really good pace in this race, actually. Yeah, I think Maldi's going to be lucky to even pick up a point here at this rate.
I say, what's common on this season? Both tiers, like having a dry start and it's ended on smooth tyres.
Well, there's been a lot of wet weather this season. Yeah. Last season we had barely any, and this season there's been a lot, which I'm not very happy with personally. But
rain's looking very hefty now. It's going to be 4 wet tyres now. Looking very, very wet. Rain's coming down very hard.
Right, Matt. Udair's finally made some inroads.
Yeah, it's probably about 4 tenths off, I think. Oh, why did he get there?
Bram's on the back of Felipe as well now. Big train forming, but we've got Charles as well trying to make this move on Maldi, who is doing all he needs to keep these guys behind for now. Charles, I think, getting a bit frustrated as he wants to get that move done. But I think P7 is going to be the best for the Red Bull driver, regardless. It is a wide line from Charles. Let's give for Drew's a bit of a chance here. Can he go for a move? Oh, bit of lag from Charles. And he's wide. He's wide at the penultimate corner. And here comes Drew on the outside. Oh, and he's been squeezed out of road there.
I think Charles is trying to quite high as you are.
Oh,
heavy this rain is. What heavy rain this is now. It's absolutely pouring down. This might be wet tyre conditions. Almost.
I think it's far off, but I think they will definitely stay out till the end. But if you're someone like Allison or YX, then do you go for a set of wets and just see what happens?
Yeah.
Haven't got anything to lose at this stage.
Just looks a bit more stick out than it used to be.
Yeah, and look at the inroads Udez made again.
Ram! Just expected Bram and a little bit of twitch and exit on the chicane. So Bram's close up with Felipe, and Udez catching up.
Yeah, he's gonna be within touching distance for the final 2 laps. So immense pressure on the shoulders of the Dutchman.
One Dutch just attacking, the other Dutch is going to attack.
Yeah. Both teammates as well. Battle of the constructors. I think these two are going to be the biggest contenders for that constructors championship. Very strong lineups from both teams. But Felipe struggled to keep with you there after he got the move done.
It is very wet out right now.
So what's going to happen in these closing stages? That is the question we want to find out.
It looks like they're just floating slightly. It doesn't really got much grip, you know.
Well, Bram just enabled the overtake in 6th gear and I think got a bit of wheel spin. So I think he'll be agreeing with you on that one. Just see the understeer as well in these guys. They're really closing on Semike now. Semike's got a little bit more ERS than the Renault behind him. But this is going to be massive pressure for him to hold this for his first STB victory. And he's got 1.5 laps to go.
Oh, Bram!
Oh,
no
saw that in the
traction.
background. The yellow flag for
Danger Man.
Danger Man again.
I don't even know. Danger Man's...
It's been a nightmare. And Udez all over the back of Semike now. All over the back of him through the final sector now. And this is what we wanted to see. The battle for the lead for the final laps. And he's going to be under immense pressure. As I said, from the Brazilian driver.
I actually think it is wet tyres now. After these intermediates, I'm looking at
Yeah, it's definitely too late for people to come in though.
It's just treading water now, literally.
Right, onto the final lap, Matt. This is what we've been waiting for. Can Semike hold on and take his first STB victory?
Bram's too far behind from Felipe. Bram's not
he's run out of grip, I think. So, I think Udez going to have one big chance, which is going to be down the straight. He's been put off there by the AlphaTauri, who they are coming up to lap. And he is within arm's length. But he might be a little bit too far back to make it at the end of the chicane.
Taking different lines.
Yeah, Semike took a... Oh, here we go. Udez got a much better exit. And this is going to be it. This is going to be the battle for the lead. I think this is his biggest chance he's going to get in this race.
And he's got more overtake there.
Yeah, and he burns it, and he manages to stay ahead. And Udez outbreaks the Dutchman ever so slightly, and this is going to be his final chance, I think. And he tries to get the power down as smooth as possible, but it's still a little bit too far behind. And Semike weaving, trying to break the slipstream as much as he can, but here comes Udez. And it's Semike defending the inside. Oh, there's nose to tail coming through turn 11 now. Can you dare get the position? He's got a few more corners to go. Is he going to send it up in the final corner, Matt?
Uday has better traction.
And he's got way better traction. He's much faster now. Is he going to go for a move?
Around the outside.
He's all the way back. And Semi-K has to defend it. Is he going to hold the inside? He's not. But he holds the position. Can you dare get better traction at the final corner? It looks as if Semi-K's got it all sorted. And they're going to be close. Coming up to the line, but it's Semi-K who takes his first STB victory by the slimmest margin. It's SFS Felipe on the podium on his debut. Bram Nilsson in P4. On the road, it'll be Tavares P5, but Janino will jump him. Tavares down into P6, Mauri P7. But he will drop to P8. So will he drop any further? No, it is P8. Just about.
Yeah.
Allison jumps to P9, Pedro's P10. Solid is in P11. Felipe.
Oh, I take off a man. I thought he was out before then.
Yeah, he's P12, YX P13, 2D P14, and
2D had a terrible last stint there. He was getting penalties left, right, and centre.
And what an ending we had to that race.
Yeah. It was
I mean, if I was you there, I would have sent that the inside of the final corner, but
yeah,
I was thinking,
around that side, second last corner, and then just stick at the inside of the last corner. With a RGYs and just hope to get their traction. But he just didn't quite make the move. He had to try and make it happen. He never made that move. Never really put too much threat to the Haas driver.
And yeah, what an interesting race. But for anyone who is watching the stream, if you want to vote for your driver of the day, we will come up with our choice as well, but I want to see what you guys think as well. But we'll run through your results. It is Semi-K from 11th on the grid who wins the French Grand Prix. Uday just missing out in P2. SFS Felipe on his debut in P3. Bram Nilsson off the podium again down in P4, but luckily for him, his championship rival just missing out on the victory. Alpha Janino will finish P5 with Tavares just behind him. Charlos in P7. Maudi dropped down to P8 in the end with LVF Allison just behind. And Pedro's picking up the final point. Then it was PXR Solid in P11. XS Felipe to P12. YX in P13. XRL 2D in P14. Dangerman did finish a lap down in the end in P15. And the DNFs were Andrew F2004, Edison Norris and Crookran. Which is a very small list of retirees, considering that one of them lagged out before he could even get in the race as well.
And it's been a very treacherous last sector as well, last part of the race.
Alright, let's get some interviews. I think Felipe doesn't speak any English, neither does Uday. So we'll try and get Bram in the party as well for an interview. Right, we will come firstly to P4 in the race, which was Bram Nilsson. Bram, if you want to include your audio, I'll give you a couple of questions about the race. So, I think you'll be slightly disappointed with that one, definitely. But P4, good points for the championship. But what in the end was the downfall of your race?
Yeah, it was just a very unlucky race for me, and those things happen. On the start, I got pushed right and lost once again, like 5-6 positions. Safety car helped me a bit, made a good strategy choice. And then we had a bit of a communication problem when we went on to the inters. I thought I was gonna pit, but then Sam pitted last minute. So I had to drive back onto the track, and I think that lost me probably a podium today. It lost me around 2 to 3 seconds, which would have meant that I would have exited ahead of one of the Renaults.
And as for the next round, how confident are you feeling going into Austria?
Yeah, it's a decent track. I think everyone likes Austria. Everyone's quick at it, so not too sure what to expect. But I'm aiming high. I want to win.
Well done on good points tonight, and good luck for next week as well. STB Maldi. We'll give you a couple questions, as there's not many interviewees tonight. So if you'd like to include your audio.
Yeah.
P3 on the grid from you, and I think not the cleanest lap either. There was definitely some time in that. Yeah, how did you feel your whole race weekend went? Are you happy overall, or do you feel like there was more on the table?
Obviously, I led the start of the race, which was pretty mad. But I knew that a win was not going to be possible for me because there was quicker guys, and obviously the rain was going to be falling. So, and as you probably saw, I'm not very good in the rain, but I'm pretty happy with my race. And yeah, I think I had a good battle with Juninho, Charles, Pedros. So that was good, and yeah, I think I'm looking forward to Austria, and then we'll see if I can get some more points on board.
And can you give us a couple of words to Brazilian fans?
Olha Brasile, muito amor, eu coro no Auditi hoje, eu vou feliz. Para Brasil.
Sim.
Obrigado.
Thank you for the interview, Maldi, and well done on your performance tonight as well. And last but certainly not least, we come to Semi K. If you'd like to include your audio, and we'll give you a couple of questions. So, a masterclass from you. Nailed the strategy, and in the end, you got your first STB victory. How are you feeling? And you managed to keep with the guys ahead in that first stint. You had a fantastic start. Was there any doubt in your mind with the strategy? Did you feel as if maybe you were never going to make it to that rain period with the hards, and that you might have had to pit for a set of softs? Well, massive congratulations on your first victory. I'm sure first of many. So, Matt, that wraps up another race, another exciting race as well, and in classic Tier 2 style, separated by less than a tenth over the line. But yeah, we will wrap that up for tonight. Next week we head to Austria, as we've mentioned. So make sure you join Bram and STB Maori on Monday nights for what should be an absolute cracking race again. and then join me and Matt again same time next week for Tier 2 around the Red Bull Ring, and we will see you there.